and we're in the third game of the semi-finals between Gummibaer Gruen and Food Please. And I think that this is should be an admin re, but of course the admin is playing himself because they chose to play on Mega Random. And in the rule it states that no game, or in a series there cannot be two games on the same map. But of course the players don't care. We already had a match on Black Forest, even though that was not in the map pool. So yeah, so the players are playing on Mega Random again. So that's the second home map of Gummibaer. And also, again, I am a little bit curious about that choice. I think that this is also a map that's very nice for Gummibaer. For Food Please, I mean. So it's maybe not the best choice for Gummibaer to go for this map. Now here we have a little bit more of an interesting map creation compared to the last one. So as you can see, both players start with two town centers, and for scouts they have these horses. So the horses cannot attack, but they are nice for scouting, and they have two of them, or I think at least two of them. They might even have four of them actually, so two per TC. Oh yeah, that's what you can see here. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 horses for scouting, and they also start with some outposts close to their town center. So they already have some things to work with over here. Then the map itself, we have this big plateau in the middle, and there's nothing on there. That's another. That's maybe a little bit of weakness of Mega Random. I mean, you have these elevation pieces, but that's not really any reason to go there unless if you're going for map control, but there's no resources to secure, so bit of a curious map generation over here. Okay, both players now having this unique situation where they need to keep both town centers running at the same time, and that's much more difficult than just keeping one running at the time. And both players are not at all, I think, used to this. But I think that means also that the players will be very occupied, and so we won't see much early laming, I guess, because that would just take too much micro for these players. That's what I think, but maybe Food Please does want to surprise us. I mean, he is going for the laming award, so maybe he wants to make something happen this game. I mean, look at this. There's a lot of geese on this map, so here there's just plenty of geese to last all throughout Dark Age, basically. More geese over here. On Gummibaer's side, not so many geese. I mean, he hasn't found the ones in the back. That's unfortunate, but he knows about the ibex. And here there's also a lot of geese underneath the town center, and how this horse could be picked off if Gummibaer pays attention, but no, the horse is actually fine. And this is one of the problems when you have two TCs right from the get-go, that you're getting housed so easily, because you just have twice as many villagers being produced. Oh, look at the idle times. That's such a Food Please move over here. I mean, that could be a screenshot for the thumbnail right there. In terms of village numbers, both players doing fine. It's 27 against 25, so I think that's because Gummibaer was housed. But still, it's not too bad in these kind of games, because you can easily reproduce with your two town centers. And as you can see, it's now 27 to 28, so it's very close. It's much closer than what you would think. And that's a good move by Gummibaer. I mean, he shouldn't lose all the horses. He now needs to go with the horses over here, and then he can steal all the geese. Go, Gummibaer! And always keep a horse with them, so that they cannot be converted, because Food Please might want... No, he is not paying attention. Clearly he's not paying attention. And the geese are just stolen. I can't believe that Gummibaer just allows this to happen. Still, Gummibaer should make sure that these geese are actually making it home. But that's a big win already for Gummibaer. I love it. And he's going Feudal Age. He knows that when he can produce from 1 TC with villagers anyways, he can just go for a faster feudal time. Now, question is, what will he go for in Feudal Age? Will he go for some kind of scouts? I mean, he loves his scouts, and I think on this map they can be so devastating. I mean, you have this exposed berry patch, and your opponent, he will only be at one town center, basically, with his attention at one point. Oh, this horse is in peril, but that's the thing. The players might not realize all the time. But this was a bad move by Gummibaer, and he should be careful that his other horse does not run into the TC here. And look at the geese marching, the march of the geese back to the home of Gummibaer. Lovely stuff, and I think Gummibaer having a better start here. I mean, yes, he's only one villager behind, even though he's clicking up to Feudal Age. That's amazing, that's pretty good, but now he needs to make something happen. Whereas on the other side, Food Please now stealing a few geese of Gummibaer. But I think still advantage goes to Gummibaer. And now we have some militia in Feudal Age Gummibaer. That's questionable at best. That's so you have this great start, Gummibaer. You have everything is in your favor, and then you're making militia in Feudal Age. I'm not sure. Why not go for scouts? I mean, why not go for scouts or go for fast castle or I don't know. I mean, and he's the Khmer. I mean, I'm not aware of any special bonus of the Khmer for the militia. I mean, they're just generic militia. Luckily, he has stopped producing them. I mean, that would have been bad. I mean, he's still now badly housed. Now, Food Please finally going for the Feudal Age, but I think he's idling his other town center because there is nothing in the production queue. So he's like, okay, I'm going to Feudal Age, so no more villagers for me. And that's exactly what's happening. And now finally getting out, but still not producing from them. Gummibaer now going for the militia. Does he want to go for man-at-arms pressure? I'm not sure. I mean, he doesn't have the upgrade. Now the geese are marching back, so he got the geese with the horse. Lovely stuff. And now finally Food Please advancing to Feudal Age, but look at this, Gummibaer at 45 to 37 villages, 38 now, and he was earlier to Feudal Age, so he got the economy upgrades already earlier. He has the minecart, he has the blacksmith, and now he should go for a second building as well, and then just go up to Castle Age. I mean, Food Please does have the resources, so he will go up as soon as he can, but but Gummibaer does not have the resources, he does not have the food, and that's because he was going for the 3 militia in Feudal Age. Gummibaer, what is this? I mean, yeah, now they're men-at-arms, but they're Khmer men-at-arms. I mean, yeah. See, it's just a few quick walls, and they're basically useless. I mean, maybe they can do something at the berries. Okay, but Food Please is not realizing. So, okay, they might be doing something after all. But still, Food Please now going to Castle Age, and then the momentum will swing. Because, I mean, what is this measly pressure? Scouts would have been just so much better. If you're gonna spend the food, just spend it on scouts. I mean, why spend it on men-at-arms, and why run underneath the TC? I mean, he's now forcing up a tower. Okay, I mean, he is forcing a response, but still, it's just 3 men-at-arms. They're not too strong. Yeah, so... And at the same time, his opponent is going up, Gummibaer nowhere near going up. Interestingly, even though he was able to steal all the geese, he has not killed a single villager, now finally killing one. But one thing that's going for in the favor of Gummibaer is that he is continuously creating villages. So he actually is ahead in villages by more than 10, and that's also helped by the fact that he just killed another villager there with his men-at-arms. But again, I say... I mean, Gummibaer has to go up to next gauge because the knights are coming out. It's Frank knights even. I mean, that's the perfect situation for Food Please. He's the first up to Castle Age. He can just produce the knights, and Gummibaer is nowhere near. Now finally clicking up. He has a lot of wood in the bank. Oh yeah, I think he's Khmer, so he doesn't even need the 2 buildings. No building required to advance to the next age. Yeah, so Gummibaer. Um, this could have been such a fast castle time, but now you're just behind, and now you're going for your classical response. But remember, your opponent is Franks for one thing, and secondly, he's already up. So yeah, you're at a disadvantage there. However, luckily for Gummibaer, it seems that Food Police is struggling a lot with this double town center economy. He's now 15 villages behind. He's not creating any villages from any of the TCs. He's now finally garrisoning or producing a few knights at least, so that's something with which he hopes he can strike. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you have to wall 2 bases, is that really time well spent? I mean, yeah, if it's a nice quick wall, then it's fine. But maybe it's better to just wall in your villages in the gold and not have these big walls, and then you're anyways open here. But we'll see how this plays out. The first knight is out, or is it? No, it's already second knight. Yeah, so I think that's a better solution. However, you should build more. You should. Oof, that's so little HP here on the gold mine. I think that's not good. And I think, yeah, that's just like 3 hits and it's open. And this villager is gone. But honestly, Gummibaer can afford to lose a couple of villagers because he's so far ahead in villager count, and so he should not panic. He could also consider, instead of going for knights, to go for elephants. But this is now bad. I mean, the knights, they're out. They can just roam freely and pick off those villages. But see, I mean, Gummibaer still, he can afford to lose a lot here. And as long as he cleans up the knights off Food Police, he is completely fine. I mean, there's nothing nothing too bad. Look at this, Gummibaer getting walled in by Food Police. That's a cute move, but I don't think it's too effective. I mean, the horses have done their deeds. And yeah, Gummibaer just needs to make sure that he doesn't lose too much, and then he's basically golden from here. I mean, he's still almost 10 villages ahead. He's still producing villages. He's producing knights at the same time. One knight has already been cleared. Another 2 knights are being chased by Gummibaer, and now he just needs to make sure that he doesn't take a bad engagement. And if we look at the upgrades, +1 defense for Food Police, +1 defense, +1 attack for Gummibaer. Now don't take this bad fight, Gummibaer. Gummibaer. Always. I'm not sure if it's good to go on the offensive here, Gummibaer. Okay, luckily your opponent, I would say, kind of overreacts, because he could just easily start to raid you. And it's only 3 knights, they're far from home, and they're at the edge of the map, and in chess he would say knights on the rim are dim, because they cannot do much, and in this case I think it's the same. However, Food Police has some juicy targets for his opponent right over here, for instance. So a lot of idols again, the typical Food Police economy, and Gummibaer again going ahead, 10 villages. That's the constant production that he has, so the raiding was not too effective by Food Police. Now finally this horse gets killed off. A little bit of a maybe there's gonna be lasagna tonight for dinner, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I guess it's good for Gummibaer that he's basically distracting all of the knights of Food Police and draws them to this very corner, and they're just not doing anything offensive. But at the same time, he is here in the base of Gummibaer, and he is racking up the kills. And he's equalizing the villager counts. It's only now 8 difference. And now the pikeman upgrade is in. They also have the +1 attack upgrade, but still, knights are just so mobile. They can just run away, dip in, dip out, and it's so hard. That's what I said. I mean, yeah, don't even try to wall over here. It's not worth it, because they can just go in anyway. And yeah, those knights, they only have +1 defense, so that's something that's maybe going for Gummibaer at this point. But still, the villager gap has narrowed. Military counts are a little bit in favor of Gummibaer, who is now doing a nice raid with knights, I guess. but he cannot fight those numbers, so he needs to be careful. And a lot of the military numbers of Gummibaer are actually in pikemen, and one of the pikemen is garrisoned, and he has so many idols. Now trying to go for a cute micro maneuver here. I'm not sure. I think Gummibaer will just lose all of the knights. So that's maybe not the best. He at least does have the bloodlines, so that's good. But oh, he loses so many villages over here to the knights. And yeah, now it's basically even. One more villager will go down, 2 more, and then I think Food Police will have the villager advantage, even though he was not producing for the longer period of time. And that's again, Gummibaer, like in the last game, he did not use the Civ bonus. So here, for the Khmer, and again, he could just hop into the houses. So he probably doesn't know that, and for the viewers who don't know that as well, I mean, hop into the houses, your villages are safe from the raids. But he didn't do that, and he also didn't use the fact that he did not have to build the buildings to advance to the next age, and now he's trying to fight rank knights with knights from Khmers. I'm not so sure about this now. Please having more villages, it's just the raiding power. He's just pumping out those knights, and Gummibaer is just so vulnerable here. Yeah, just having his pikemen idle in the back, they should be over here. Having so many idols underneath this TC. I mean, look at this, 23 idols! Gummibaer, I think he's throwing another game, not using the bonuses, not using the civilization, what it can do to your advantage. I mean, maybe if you're lucky, then Food Police will throw away all his knights, but attack with your fucking pikemen! What are they doing? Gummibaer, what are your fucking pikemen doing? This is so frustrating. This is so frustrating, but finally pikemen are here, but now Food Police has realized that and he can't just retreat. He still has a pesky knight over here, which did kill the barracks. Finally, the villages are garrisoned, but I think the knights will just aggro and it will lead to more kills. And there are some pikemen over here which could just deal with this, but I mean, this knight is on 4 HP. You could even fight this with the villagers. At this point, finally, it's getting cleared up. But this is now nice for Gummibaer because he has all of these pikemen. He can go for a big counterattack, but just needs to make sure that he's not within the range of the tower. But then he's basically golden. He's able to raid, but I think he's getting a lot of damage by the tower, and pikemen not the greatest raiding unit, to be honest. I mean, if the village is just garrison, he's throwing away the pikemen, just throwing them away. And yeah, and now those knights are more than enough to clear up this force over here. Gummibaer has some more knights over here. He should go into the woodline if he has the APM to do that. But look at this. Now the pikeman numbers are diminished and the knights should win easily and handily over here. I mean, he's not even gonna kill. He's probably gonna kill 2 or 3 knights of his opponent, and then all of his army is dead. And that's why you need to be so careful. Now he's switching to the elephants, but I'm a little bit skeptical. At least Gummibaer reacted very nicely here and denied this watchtower, but now he needs to make sure to kill this villager. He needs to send out these pikemen and just kill this villager. But yeah, look at this. Knight numbers of Food Police now going to become scary, and I'm not sure if, look at this, 18 knights. I'm not sure if, I mean, elephants are stronger than knights, but they're also a lot slower. Although Khmer elements are faster than generic elephants, so maybe it's a little bit counteracted here. But still, it's very dicey for Gummibaer. Let's look at the villager numbers, but that's interesting. Gummibaer was able to go ahead again in numbers, now has 10 more villages again. So here you see the big weakness of Food Police. He's always like, okay, he's equalizing or going ahead, and then he's just losing all the villages. But now this is a terrifying raid. I mean, yeah, there are some pikemen over there, but I mean, at this point he could even take out the TC if he wanted to. and the villagers aren't even fitting underneath TC. The pikemen are not reacting. These stone miners, they should just hop into the tower, hop into the houses. And I mean, you have to utilize your bonus, but at the same time, the elephants are in, and elephants very strong, but I'm not sure if the numbers are there. They're at least enough to demolish this tower. Fuki is now also dropping additional town centers over here. He's, I mean, he's not even producing enough villages from town centers he has, but yeah, he still wants to go for more. And now we have such a massive idle time for both players, and Gummibaer now way behind in villagers numbers because he lost all the villages here, because he did not hop into the house, did not hop into the guard tower. At the same time, I think this town center might actually fall, because the elephants are just so tanky. They have 270 hit points and 4 pierce armor. And I think this town center is a goner, but he needs to realize that the knights are attacking, and maybe, but I think that the pikemen will do that. And now the knights are swinging around, going for the other town center, continuing where they have left off, and there is nothing to defend, and that's the mobility of the knights. I mean, yes, the elephants, they can clean up house, and now Gummibaer, what is he doing? I mean, he should just go for the production buildings, maybe go for the stables, because the elephants are good against the buildings, so you should utilize that. But here the elephants are getting overwhelmed. Oh, this is so bad for Gummibaer, and now it's 47 against 63 villages. And there's so many juicy villages to be picked in the back over here. And I think, yeah, I mean, it's a nice attack by Gummibaer, but now the spearmen are coming out, the knights are still being pumped out, so maybe it would be better with the elephants to just go for the stables. Yeah, and he needs to keep his forces together. I mean, the elephants, yeah, they're strong, but without the support, they cannot do that. Crossing over are the knights, going to different areas at the same time, and then here it is, the GG castle is being dropped by Fuplis. He's like, okay, get out of my semi-final. What are you even doing here? And I think, yeah, Gummibaer has nothing. He's now dropping a market in the back, but I mean, he's getting heavily raided. You maybe will kill this town center, but even so, I mean, look at this. All of them are dead. He's not utilizing the bonuses. It's frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating as a viewer, as a Gummibaer fan, because he does not deliver what we expected from him. Still, now he has cleared up this raid, but look at this, 30 villages. He was at 75 villages already, now he's at 30. He has a castle in his face, and disrespect farms are being placed in the back. So basically, Fuplis says, you're not gonna raid that anyways, so yeah, I can do whatever I want. And this town center was not destroyed by the elephants, it was not enough. So there's still 1, 2, 3 TCs there for Fuplis, and yeah, and these now he's dropping a castle here. I mean, yes, you're gonna defend this little eco, but I think you should either make sure that you reconquer this area, or you need to go in the offensive and just place an offensive castle right here in between those town centers while you have your military over here. And that would allow you to come back into this game. It's an eye for an eyes game at this point, where you can say, okay, you drop a castle on my face, I'll drop a castle on your face. But that's not what Gummibaer does. He is scared, he drops the castle in the back, he's idling his military, he needs to send it forward, he needs to go on the aggressive, on the offensive. He has 27 villages and 9 of them are idle. That's not sustainable. He must have no resources left anymore. I mean, yeah, he has a lot of gold still, so he could still do something. Maybe go for ballista elephants or whatever. Oh, and look at this. Look at this. Villagers trying to escape, but the knights are there. The knights are on the prowl. They're sensing the juicy villager with their knights and senses, and there's nothing to defend. So yeah, you got the castle, but it's not gonna help. because all your villages are gonna die anyways. So that's too bad. I mean, yeah, even these stone villagers, they will all get picked off. I think it's even open here. Yes. So, and I think it's game over. I mean, I don't know what Gummibaer is hoping to do. And here again, focusing on the houses. Why not focus on the production buildings? I mean, it's too late at this point, but then at least you could prevent your opponent from getting more knights because he does not have any more stables. So that's something that he should have done earlier. Now finally doing that, but honestly it's too late. All the villages are idle. It's 16 villages, Gummibaer, 16. And all the throwing axemen are out. And he could have just jumped into the houses most of the time. And yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, now finally he realizes that he can prevent his opponent from getting more military by destroying military buildings. But it's too late. It's too late. I've said it before, and then it was closer than we would expect it. But I think it's over at this point. I mean, it's 18 villages. What are you going to do with 18 villages? And even you have got the pikemen garrisoned in there. So that's another hotkey. I don't use it unfortunately either, but there's a hotkey for only selecting military or only selecting villagers, where you hold I think it's shift or control, and that makes garrisoning villages instead of military much easier. And now, yeah, finally he has killed the barracks. There's some more pikemen coming out, and he needs to focus the pikemen because otherwise another elephant will go down here. Gummibaer not reacting. Now finally I think he will realize that he can kill this pikeman over here, but now look at this throwing axemen, +2 attack, +2 defense are there. They're on the prowl. I mean, they're probably not the strongest unit in this situation for Food Please. I mean, they're very strong against the pikemen, but they're not too good against the elephants, I presume. I mean, it's not a matchup we see very often, but I don't think that would be a thing. Now Food Please getting scared. I mean, he doesn't know that his opponent has nothing left, so he's basically going for the panic stone walls all around his base, but still he's open over here, and apparently open over here. But that's the problem of the elephants. The elephants are just too slow to chase down any enemy villages, and now you have the barracks and the pikemen are just gonna come out, so you need to retreat with the elephants because they're just gonna be outmatched by castle fire and pikemen. But I think at the same time the GG push is happening. Throwing axemen in the back of the base. Well, Gummibaer technically does have to counter with the ballista elephants, or at least a counter maybe. But he needs to realize that he needs to vacate here, and please realize that you can hop into the towers. And now what Gummibaer should do maybe here is, I don't know if it's reasonable. Well, he's not gonna house his opponent by destroying these houses, so maybe it's not even worth it at this point. And yeah, he has all these elephants, but I think they're gonna get destroyed eventually by town center fire and the military units that his opponents have. And now we're back down to 18 villages. 18 villages, so it's 34 against 87 population. There's just no way back. I mean, you would need I don't know, 20 ballista elephants at this point, and all he has is 2. Luckily for him, I mean, the throwing axemen kind of getting a little bit too ballsy. But I think Castle Age, I'm not sure how good the Castle Age ballista elephants are. Yeah, apparently good enough to deal with some throwing at axemen, which are getting sacrificed underneath the town center. So Food Please getting a little bit messy over here, but look at this. Now the pikemen are out, and the ballista elephants, I'm not sure if they are going to be able to do enough. And then at the same time, I mean, yeah, they're not even doing that much damage. It's like 8 damage per hit, and then the throwing axemen have +2 defense. And another castle, but again, I mean, you're not securing any new resources. Maybe here, I mean, you have basically exercised this area from your opponent, so maybe drop a castle in between those two resources to secure some more for yourself, for your own empire. But alas, it's not what he's doing. I mean, technically all of this is kind of vulnerable to arrow fire and ballista elephant fire, so we might see the comeback of the century, but I just don't see it happen with just 18 villages. I mean, at this point, that's just not enough. I mean, we're now 30 minutes in, and you're at 18 villages. It's not gonna happen. And yeah, the stone walls are coming down, but he's still open in the back. Okay, now going for more stone walls, but he's still open here. So maybe he thinks he can do a all-in ballista elephant push, but now he needs to make sure that he really builds these walls, because the build time has been increased for stone walls, so it's not that easy to wall in anymore. He's now going for a second town center. Oh god, come on, you need to build the stone walls. Just do it before your opponent attacks. I mean, he's right there, and it's just a few moments. Just click, 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 click. Luckily his opponent, oh, let's see if he realizes this. That's Gummibaer lost valuable time, and I think that's why this will be breached so quickly. I mean, there's the throwing axemen. They're just gonna pummel those villages, and they're all going down, and there's nothing. And this wall is just breached in an instant. It's nothing. And now pull those ballista elephants back. Please pull them back. Please pull them back, Gummibaer. Gummibaer. This is so frustrating. Peter Rost is giving up at this point. I mean, Food Priest is offering you to throw away all of his units. So you should just accept this offer. Let him come. Let him come and sacrifice everything he has. And now you need some monks to heal up your ballista elephants. I mean, you only have 5 of them, and you really need to make sure that they're healed up. And in the meantime, you can try to patch this hole in the wall. Back down to 19 villages against 56. I mean, Gummibaer can be lucky that his opponent is also not very good at the booming game at this point, but I think he still does have more. I mean, he has a lot of farmlands, but only like 4 working farmers. But I think in the long run, yeah, he will just overpower Gummibaer. I mean, yeah, this is getting close, but it's the stone wall. You saw how quickly it just got destroyed by these throwing axemen and pikemen, because they have, I think they do have some bonus damage. And I'm not sure if you need any barracks units. Just forget the barracks. I mean, look at this. You need some ranged units against this. I mean, you need some crossbows maybe, or even skirms. I think would be good. I mean, skirms are not good against the throwing axemen, but they're good against the pikemen, so that's something that he could go for at this point. Yeah, so maybe a monk to heal up your ballista elephants. I mean, this one is at 83 health, this one is at 1 HP, or you could even garrison them inside of the castle to also heal them up. That's a mechanic that most people don't use or don't even know about. It's you can garrison units, and you can garrison even cavalry inside of castles, and then they will gonna heal up very slowly. And then you can speed it up with a herbal medicines tech, which you can get in the monastery, which basically you only get when you're Teutons, because you get it for free. But other than that, it's basically useless. Now, okay, knight counterattack, I'm not sure. Basically, Gummibaer at this point, he has to hope for a big blunder by his opponent, that he will just sacrifice his whole army to some nice ballista shots. But for that to happen, he really needs to make sure that he gets the numbers up, that he gets the ballista elephants up to a number where they need to be, and that Food Priest is also not able to go up to the Imperial Age, which he is nowhere near, because he's just pumping out this infantry, because he's really wanting to go for this disrespect move. Now a little bit more villages now for Gummibaer. He's now up. He's more than 30 villages now. It's at 34 minutes. So that's nice for him. He tried a little bit of a raid, but I mean, it's very dicey. I think it's a last stand, a yeah, kind of win here or die situation. And I think Monastery would be good. Heal up those ballista elephants. Heal them from the back line. They're so tanky, and if you don't kill them, and your opponent gets the option to mass these ballista elephants, they're so deadly. If you have a large mass, they're one of the deadliest units in the game because they're just so tanky and they can just rip through everything. But now in these low numbers, that's not gonna happen. Now finally, some nice raids going on over here, denying all of this farming economy, killing a villager, or maybe it was a throwing axeman. And but now the villagers can just come back. But the villager gap is narrowing again, and that's so interesting, and also like such a food please move. I mean, yeah, now he's like walling in his opponent. He has all these siege rams, and yeah, to be honest, I don't see a way back for Gummibaer, but certainly food please tries to make it or keep it interesting by yeah, not making any more economy, not making sure, not going to Imperial Age. He wants to end this in the Castle Age with a massive amount of battering rams, and I think that's gonna just succeed. I mean, it's 12 battering rams fully loaded with infantry, and they will just chew through these very weak ballista elephants. And yeah, that's not much that Gummibaer can do at this point. I mean, yes, he can kill a few units here and there, but the rams only take 1 damage, and then all the pikemen will be unloaded upon you. So you should already retreat with the ballista elephants. But I mean, it's over, and the castle here is not gonna save you. And I think that the ballista elephants will just go down at some point. The pikemen are out. Finally, big ungarrison move here. And that's it. That's a GG push. Gruen did not retreat. He did not conserve his ballista elephants, so he's very reckless with ranged units. That's also something we saw in the first game. And again, I have to question his choice with Mega Random. I mean, you know that your opponent is also strong on this map. Why do you go for that? Why are you not going for a different option? Maybe even go for Arena or something, which, I mean, it's not your favorite map, surely, but it's something where you might try something different. Try to deny this laming spirit of your opponent. But yeah, I mean, this is over. It's just a matter of time, and I think now going for the Longswordsman upgrade. I mean, yeah, I guess it's they could be good against this unit composition, but if you look at the numbers, it's 80 military against 2. Gummibaer should just accept it at this point. I mean, he had all the opportunities. He was more than 10 villages ahead, like in the last games, but then he made some questionable moves. He did not use his Sith bonus, he didn't jump into the houses, he did not advance without having to build the buildings. And then the army control was kind of questionable. He went first for knights, then for elephants, and it's like it wasn't the greatest, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, Foodpiece, of course, he is losing so much. I mean, this is a messy attack. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It's this is over. This castle will fall. 2 castles down. 3rd castle will fall. We're now down to 27 villages for our player in green, Gummibaer Gruen. Now having 1 more battle elephant, which will get just chewed up by the pikemen, who have insane bonus damage against the elephants. And yeah, I'm not sure why he's staying in the game. I mean, look at the score, look at your population, look at what's happening here. Yeah, it was a clean sweep. So Food Please taking this series 3-0. And yeah, as I said, I'm frustrated. I'm a little bit disappointed in Gummibaer. I thought that he could really have a shot here, but he was too flustered. He was always giving his opponent too much room, and he was not playing. So the problem with Gummibaer is he's not playing his game. He's trying to, or he's playing along the game of his opponent. In this case, Food Please, and that's not going to work out. And finally, he calls to GG. And what a victory it was. I mean, still Food Please at the end, only at 60 villagers, but it doesn't matter because he won in the end. And we can have a quick look at the statistics, especially the timeline you see throughout this game. So the game starts at even population, and then you see that throughout this time, Gummibaer did have an advantage and even a sizable military advantage, but the raids kept coming in, and Gummibaer was not able to retaliate in a meaningful fashion because his army control, he splintered his army, went back, went forth. It wasn't really on point, and then I think at this point, after the big raids, it was already over. But he kept on clinging on. I mean, yeah, the Ballista Elephant is a very nice unit, especially against the unit composition, but you just need so many more of them. And then, as you've seen, you need something against the Rams. So Ballista Elephants and Longswordsmen maybe, but that's so expensive, and he had only 18 villagers at some point. So no chance for Gummibaer. Unfortunate. I'm a little bit disappointed, but yeah. So Food Please advances to the grand finals, and then we'll see in the next semifinals who else will advance to the grand finals. I've been Peter Host. This was lovely to cast this game, and I see you guys next time.